Today we're going to discuss why, after 4 years of editing on Premiere Pro, I finally switched to DaVinci Resolve. Let's go. Well, what is even the reason that I'm making this video, you're probably asking. Premiere Pro is a really great software, and a lot of people have chosen it to be their main NLE editor, and I feel like that too. Premiere is a really good software. Also, Adobe created a lot of amazing software during the years, and to be honest, I'm still using a lot of them. I still use After Effects to do the animations you see in the videos. I still use Photoshop to create my thumbnails. I also use Illustrator to create graphics, and so much more applications from Adobe. But at some point, Premiere started to make my work as a video editor slower and much harder. Here are 5 reasons that make Resolve a better software for my opinion. Let's go. Number 1. Performance. Before I will get to the actual test, I must say that I did all the tests on a MacBook Pro 2018. The results may change from one computer to another. The overall feel in Resolve is much better than Premiere from my experience, and you can easily feel the difference in the performance between the two softwares when you keyframing or when you load effects from the OpenFX library, or even in small things like scrubbing footage or loading clips. And in Premiere it's kind of funny, but most of these things are getting super hard because the software is just crashing or slowing down suddenly. The reason for that is because Resolve is utilizing the resources from your computer much smarter than Premiere. Premiere is mostly CPU based and it's using a super old single core technology, while Resolve is utilizing the CPU and the GPU much smarter, especially on macOS. And until now I haven't experienced any crashes or slowdowns yet. Reason number 2 is the software itself. Maybe the corrected word for this is the efficiency of the software. In Premiere there are so many unnecessary things and tabs that the navigation inside the app is an actual nightmare, while in Resolve every tab that is related to the app is there for a real reason and not just laid down there. The multi-monitor setup that I own includes a 4K 27-inch ultra-sharp Dell monitor and another 24-inch 1080p monitor from Dell. Resolve immediately recognizes these monitors and knows exactly what tabs to put which and where. All the workspaces in Resolve are really amazing and I use each one of them for almost any project I do. While in Premiere I use only one tab, which is the editing tab, and even then the overall feel of the editing process is always feel limited and kind of claustrophobic. Reason number 3, color grading and color correction. One of the most important things that made me switch from Premiere to Resolve is the color grading and the color correction experience. The color tab in Premiere is really good and it's doing most of the work for YouTube, IG or Facebook content. But because Resolve is an actual Hollywood level software, there is no an actual competition here. For an example, if you want to track someone's face in Premiere, you have to duplicate your Lumetri module, create a mask around his face, track the face, and wait several minutes until it's done. After that, you will need to go to the Lumetri module again and change the color. While in Resolve, you just need to create a mask, go to the tracking tab and track the face. That's all. Also, another major thing that made me switch is the stabilization. I do a lot of handheld shoots and the stabilization in Resolve is so much easier. You have 3 different stabilizers, not like in Premiere that you just have warp stabilizer built in, and the stabilization is super fast and super accurate. The node-based system is a much better experience than just stacking up layers on the timeline in Premiere. Of course, you can buy third-party plugins like Colorista or Magic Bullet Look Suite, but the experience is never going to be as Resolve. Another really cool addition that made me switch is the Fusion tab in Resolve. I don't use it that often, but when I use it, it's really coming handy. Reason number 4. Audio. As a video editor in 2020, almost in any project I do also the sound mixing and sound recording. So you're probably thinking that I'm obviously using an external audio software. not in Resolve. While I was still editing on Premiere, almost in any project I had to move to Audition to do the sound mixing and recording. While in Resolve, the only thing I need to do is just go to the Fairlight tab and I'm actually done. Little things like real-time waveform or adjusting frame by frame the waveform itself is so amazing to me. This is just blowing my mind every time that I am doing my cuts, my edit, my effects, and my color grading, and also the mixing, all inside Resolve. Number 5 and last one, rendering. The last thing I would like to discuss with you today is the rendering and the exporting process in the Resolve. And I'm not talking only about the rendering speed, but the whole exporting experience is so much better. For instance, if I have another editor on my team and I want to export an XML timeline, in Premiere I will just have to go through a stupid series of tabs. While in Resolve you just go to the export tab and select which software do you want to export to. There are pre-made presets for any software you can think of. Premiere, Final Cut Pro 10 and even 7, Avid Media Composer and even Pro Tools. That's incredible! With all the great features that Resolve offers, there are some drawbacks. The biggest loss for me is the Adobe Dynamic Link option. I've used it a lot and I'm still using it while I'm doing After Effects or Photoshop work. But it still didn't keep me away from switching. The second big drawback is of course lack of editors. For now, because a lot of people are still using other NLE softwares like Final Cut Pro 10, Premiere or Avid Media Composer. If you want to do a collaborate work with them, you will have to go to XML exports or AAF or something like that. And of course, there are more drawbacks, but they're still not big enough to keeping me away from switching. To conclude, the switching is completely up to you. I hope you took at least something from the things that I said today. Thumbs up if you liked the video and thumbs down if you didn't. Don't forget to subscribe and now I'll see you at the next video.